If you open up this video wondering if Spin Dash Kit is equal or stronger than usual Hyperwing engine loadouts, it's weaker. But it's an interesting gadget that has a lot of depth and gives a fresh take on the game. Spin Dash Kit is made of two gadgets, which are Spin Dash and Low Charge. The Spin Dash part changes the way your drift charges build up. Instead of naturally filling as you drift, it does not build unless you tap the accelerate button. Tapping the accel button progressively fills the gauge, then freezes. Each tap is a rev, and depending on your setup, it can be as low as 5 revs or as high as 9. While drifting, you lose 25 driving speed, which stacks with other negative effects such as friction drift or power vehicles. That speed loss can be countered by positive speed increases such as boosting. Due to the way the drift gauge progressively builds instead of instantly, mashing accelerate will yield terrible results. Tapping accelerate with a rhythm will fill your gauge a lot faster. By using Steam's built-in turbo function, I was able to test various tempos with perfect timing, letting me have an accurate reading of which tempo is the best. In this screenshot you can see that I lined up different tempos and measured them by frames. They're showcased in order, from top to bottom, starting at pressing once every 10 frames, then adding 5 more frames every attempt. These tests were all done at 50 boost using a power car. As you can see, the first line is the longest clip at 3.03 seconds to build up from 0 to level 3, while the fifth line is the shortest clip at 2.11 seconds. It's a difference of almost a full second. In short, pressing accelerate once every half a second or every 30 frames will yield the absolute fastest charge possible. On top of that, the game no longer cares which way you're steering while drifting anymore. Inner, outer, neutral, it's all the same, which means you're not penalized for steering outward. This gadget also affects water and flight sections. Do note that you cannot rev up a drift while you're in the air in water sections, even if you started drifting before jumping. As you can see from the screenshot here, boost stats still affects the speed you build a charge up. There's important breakpoints we'll get to later in the video in the build section, which end up limiting vehicle and character choices when it comes to playing Spin Dash Kit optimally. Also, did you know that boost caps at 88 instead of 100? I'm going to assume that's like a mistake from Sega because I don't think that's intended. I don't know what they were doing. But yeah, boost caps at 88. There is also a very small difference from using different vehicle types at the same boost value, though not by much, with the biggest gap being 3 frames between power and handling, so it does not really matter, but it's still good to know. Drift gauge roundup remains a mechanic that you can abuse and is much easier to see since your gauge literally freezes if you're not revving up. This allows for breakpoints that we'll see later. The second gadget of the kit is Low Charge. Its description mentions that it lowers your drift gauge gain and increases the duration of your boost, but it doesn't actually lower anything, so all it does is multiply the duration of your boost by 5. This applies to all drift levels. Level 1 lasts 3 seconds, level 2 lasts 9, level 3 18 and level 4 20. This is not applied to other sources of boosts, such as air tricks or dash panels, but it does extend the duration of perfect charge boosts effect. There's one last effect. While in a drift boosted state, your driftless turns are much sharper, letting you take decent lines without drifting. This lets you lose less speed during turns as you're not forced to drift. There are 4 loadouts for Spin Dash Kit. All of them require a minimum boost value to work, so that you can get to a reliable number of revs. Anything above that boost value is comfort. Just in case, when I mean 1 rev, I mean 1 tap, and when I say, for example, 6 revs, it means it takes 6 taps from level 0 to level 3. The first one is the most flexible loadout at 6 revs. It requires a minimum of 63 boost. The 2 best combinations possible are Blaze or Shadow on the blue star, giving you exactly 63 boost and 48 speed, or Eggman in Trail Runner, letting you hit 64 boost and 56 speed. Level 2 Quick Charge is the only gadget you have to keep here, meaning you have 2 gadget slots to play with. Personally, I highly recommend sticking with Slipstream Bounty, but you can definitely swap out the extra ring limit for other options such as Ring Game Mini Boost, Extended Slipstream, Crash Pads, Ring Range Up, or Air Trick Adept. The second build, 7 revs, also requires a minimum boost of 63, just like before, same best combinations. You'd think it's favored to power cars because of RGB, but not exactly. You can still use it with a board because ring game boost will help you fight off the minus 25 driving speed decrease if you drift on a ring line, or if you're drifting during Slipstream Bounty. If you don't want to be dependent on ring game boost, you can swap it out for perfect charge boost, since its effect is also extended by Spin Dash Kit, making it pretty competitive to ring game boost. The third loadout, 6 revs, requires a minimum of 47 boost, which allows for new combinations and lets speed cars in on the fun. 4 strong combinations for this one. Blaze Shadow on the blue star, 63 boost, 48 speed. Blaze Shadow in Trail Runner, 57 boost, 62 speed. Blaze Shadow in Minecart, 48 boost, 41 speed. And finally, Whisper in Retro Future, 49 boost, 61 speed. Personally, I'm quite happy Speed Car finally gets the spotlight somewhere in this game outside the supersonic speed time trials. If you want to min-max the speed stat in Speed Car, you can go for 2 parts Royal Chariot, 1 part Retro Future, and hit 47 boost and 65 speed, which puts it slightly higher than Blaze in Trail Runner. Slipstream Bounty remains single-handedly the strongest gadget you can slot in your flex spot. You can try swapping it, you'll come back to it, like there's no escaping it. It's that strong, just accept it. Alright, fourth and final variant, 5 revs requires a minimum of 52 boost. 3 combinations available, Blaze Shadow Blue Star, 63 boost, 48 speed, Blaze Shadow Trail Runner, 57 boost, 62 speed, and Eggman in Minecart, 55 boost, 35 speed. That's right, that is Friction Drift. It's one of the 2 ways to be able to reach 5 revs. The other way is stacking Technical Drift with level 2 Quick Charge, but that means you have 0 ring generation, making it worse than running Friction Drift with Slipstream Bounty. Drifting sets you at minus 35 driving speed and minus 39 if you're running Trail Runner on top of Friction Drift, making power vehicles a really poor choice there, but they're still working. So a question you might be asking yourself is, which loadout, which vehicle? What do I pick? Loadout wise, pick the first one. That's going to be great to start with to learn the ropes, and after that you can experiment with the other ones. But really, start with the first one. As for which vehicle, that is more preference based. I would say boost is easiest because then you can hit minimum value of boost with any character that you want. You don't have to min-max. It's very easy to hit 63 boost. It's very easy to hit 52 boost on a board. Like, it's super easy. So makes it really flexible for you to run any character that you want. But Trail Runner, well, power in general, has the advantage of a bumper guard being built in, which means if you bump a wall, you won't lose rings, which is fantastic because you are going to bump walls whether you want to or not. You're going to get pushed into walls and you're going to lose rings, and you'll cry. I cry. It hurts my soul. Okay, you have the builds, you have the stats, you're ready to race. How do you play it? It's not that complex, in theory. The rules are, always be boosting, drift as little as possible, drift only if you're under other speed increasing effects, abuse R-time and GRT, and most importantly, don't get bumped. Let me explain. Being in a boosted state drastically increases not just your speed, but your handling when not drifting. So it's good for two things. The first is you need to drift when boosting, so you're not as affected by the speed decrease from the spin dash gadget, meaning you can drift to refresh your boost or to stack boosts on top of each other. If you manage to always have two boosts stacked on top of each other, you are at speed cap the entire race. The second thing is that it will let you take turns without needing to drift, and you want to minimize the amount of times you have to drift in a race. So you'll want to take as many turns as possible without drifting, and to do that you need to already be in a boosted state. Thus, you want to drift as little as possible, but you want to drift enough, and you want to drift efficiently. Drifting efficiently means you want to be drifting while under a speed boost. It can be from your own drift boost, it can be from a dash panel, from a slipstream, from ring gain boost, from a boost wisp after getting hit. Lots of options where you can and should drift to refresh your boost. The biggest issue is going to be when you get hit, because getting hit is a death sentence. It's going to interrupt all the positive speed sources you had built up, meaning you get to feel the full weight of the minus 25 driving speed. If you get hit, you have to get to at least a level 2 drift as fast as possible, or you can burn a boost wisp to go for a level 3 immediately. If you're running perfect charge boost, a level 1 perfectly timed is also a great way to gain speed back. Another way to minimize the speed loss is to drift during airtime. Any ramp, drift off it to build up drift charges. GRT ramps are your friend, and if you have not seen the GRT video, you need to check it out because you will need to learn that trick if you want to make the most out of Spin Dash Kit. There's one spot where you cannot abuse airtime, it's in water sections. For whatever reason you cannot rev up while you're in the air, if you're in a boat form. I'm not sure why, it doesn't work, straight up. One thing to know is that drill, laser and monster truck all keep your current boost going, meaning if you use one of those items to avoid an incoming item, you will not have to immediately refresh your boost, it will be still going. Finally, don't get bumped. This one is the hardest. This is by far the absolute worst aspect of Spin Dash Kit. Not the slowdown from drifting, not having your speed interrupted, it's the bumps. You will get bumped into an off-road, you will get bumped out of an off-road, you will get bumped into walls, you will get bumped into the void, you will get bumped into items and hazards and mines and ghosts and everything you can think of. It's horrible. And that is by far the biggest speed loss you will get. Bumping is losing straight up, and you will get bumped a lot. You will lose a lot of speed, you will lose rings, you will not be able to take shortcuts when you plan to, and you will not be able to take your practice lines when you wanted to because you did not drift. And that is the biggest problem of this gadget. This is what happens when you don't drift. Drifting has a property that makes you far more resilient to being bumped. Since you don't want to drift, you will not benefit from that bump immunity, and Lord have mercy on you whenever you take a bump and the dead goat decides that somebody will be stuck to you. You want to take the off-road, you'll get bumped away from it, or out of it. You want to avoid the off-road, you will get bumped into it. You'll get bumped into a wall, you'll lose your rings. You'll get bumped into the void, you'll lose your spots. You'll get bumped off shortcuts or off lines you practiced, and you'll lose speed, and you'll lose rings, and you'll lose spots, and you'll be like, oh no, I have to drift now, or I'll get bumped even further, and then you drift and you lose speed. Not drifting is suffering and bumping is losing, and that is the worst part of this gadget. You are going to notice this immediately. Okay, so what's good about this gadget? It's a different way to play the game, it's fun, it's fresh, it's interesting, it has depth, it's not slow, it's not overwhelmingly strong either, it's quite balanced, and it's just fun. The bad about this gadget. Getting hit is a harsh punishment compared to other loadouts, and getting bumped is like being punished for existing. You take worse lines than other players by virtue of not wanting to drift, so you're bound to be slower. I don't think it can compete against ring engine builds, but we'll see if it is competitive next Legend comp since it's banned in the current one. Thanks, Sega. Okay, that's about it for this video. I've not found out more about this gadget so far. Everything that was found was either by me or by people in tips and tricks working together to test the gadget out, but like that's about it. I don't think there's much else unless there's like a big discovery, but it's probably just more minimal stuff. If you want like to see everything in writing, you can find it in the general gadget guide, which is linked in the description below, where you will find all the loadouts for everything ever in this game, but also spin dash kits. In the spin dash kit section you will find the screenshots with all the timestamps about checking the input, checking the boost values, all that. You can find them here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great race, and I'll see you next Legend comp, maybe, I don't know, probably. Goodbye!